Mitt Romney has more or less been running for president since Barack Obama took office 2.5 years ago. But today, he'll make it official. He'll announce his campaign in New Hampshire this afternoon. According to the prepared marks we've seen, he'll talk about the last election and say, quote, "It was a moment of crisis for our economy. And when Barack Obama came to office, we wished him well, hoped for the best. Now, in the third year of his four-year term, we have more than promises and slogans to go by. Barack Obama has failed America," end quote. Well, let's get some insight now from our Washington executive editor, Al Hunt. So, Al, is Romney going to tell us his plan to grow the economy?
Well, he's certainly going to tell us what he doesn't like, which is Obama, and he'll say he has great experience. He was an executive at Bain. He'll talk about all the jobs that he created, his success at the Salt Lake City Olympics. He won't talk a great deal about his time as governor of Massachusetts because that brings up one of his Achilles heels, which is the health care bill he enacted. But, you know, Margaret, he starts as the front runner. He has the most money. He has private wealth. He's been through it before. He does well in the polls. The issue should be his. So Mitt Romney is the closest thing we have to a Republican front runner.
And I believe he's going to be making this announcement today up in New England, the same time Sarah Palin's crossing through that trail.
Lord only knows where Sarah Palin will be on her Harley Davidson, but they may run into the Romney bus. You couldn't pick two more different characters. Mitt Romney, I don't say this uncharitably, is a conventional political figure. There's nothing conventional about Sarah Palin. I think it's a big tease, and maybe I'll be shocked when she announces next week. But right now, Romney is a certainly more serious figure than Sarah Palin, but he's not going to probably attract as much attention.
Yeah, well, it looks like we were just taking a look at a Washington Post sort of crossover between a poll and a graphic where they asked respondents to describe their impression of candidates running for the Republican presidential nomination. And the one dominant word that you see there is the one in the middle, unimpressed. What can Romney do to impress them?
Well, he can win. And I don't mean that to be as trite as it sounds. I do remember when you were just a little girl, Margaret, in 1991, you heard the same thing about the Democrats, what a second-tier group this is. They really aren't any good. Mario Cuomo, Ted Kennedy, Al Gore, they haven't run. You know, and suddenly a guy emerged from the pack, a guy named Bill Clinton, ended up, a pretty fair politician. So if they win, that can change everything. But certainly that's the view of many Republicans, including top people in Washington today, that this is not a very strong field.
Yeah, well, I remember a thing or two about 1991. But with Romney, the worry is, right, I mean, today he's going to pledge that he wants to see Obamacare repealed. Is he going to hope people don't have memories that strong?
Well, that Romney health care plan is just the albatross that will not go away for him. If it weren't for that, I would call him maybe not a prohibitive favorite, but a solid favorite. That is just an issue that he has difficulty dealing with. The Republican movement, the conservative movement, is irrational on the issue. Central question is individual mandates. Used to be the Republican position in the 90s. It was the centerpiece of his plan in Massachusetts. And it was okay until it was the centerpiece of Barack Obama's plan, and Mitt Romney just hadn't figured out a way to deal with the issue yet.
Yeah, I mean, what you're describing kind of sounds like what we heard from him last campaign.
Well, last campaign he had two problems. One, he was a flip-flopper. He had been a rather progressive governor of Massachusetts, which reflects that state, and he was running as a conservative, and it turned on issues like immigration and abortion. This time it's a little bit different. It is some of those other issues. The Mormon issue is still there, though I think it's less than it used to be. But the big issue is he was the one that enacted the precursor to Obamacare. He somehow has to address that and persuade Republican primary caucus voters that that's not a liability.
Can you see him pairing up with a Sarah Palin or somebody who does get that emotional vote going?
You mean as a vice presidential running mate? Gosh, I don't even know who's going to win the Iowa straw poll in August, much less who they'll pick as a running mate. But I think if Mitt Romney does get the nomination, he almost certainly will have to turn right, as in conservative right, for his running mate. And somebody like, not a Palin, but a Michelle Bachmann would probably be a candidate.
See, Al, I think you're not only all-knowing, but that you do, in fact, on weekends come up with these possible pairings. I know you think about these things, so I know I'm asking you to look down the line, but anyhow. Al, always good talking to you. Look forward to chatting with you tomorrow.
Margaret, thank you.